Welcome to Often Pacing for Snooze Cannington and Coburn.
It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
Very good morning. Welcome along to Often Pacing on this King's birthday holiday. We head into the Pinjarra 4-year-old Classic today at the Paceway, also Gloucester Park tomorrow. We've got 9 of the best today and 8 of the best tomorrow. Looking forward to what is going to transpire in the 4-year-old event today, but we need to have a look at the racing that was. We need horses to follow, winners today, and Dylan Edgerton-Green will also be joining us as he previews his next 2 days of runners in at WA. Oli County joins us week in, week out, and he joins us again today. Very good morning, Oli.
Morning, Matt. Yeah, it was a fantastic night of racing there on Friday. As you mentioned, with the Golden Slipper, we saw a really impressive winner in DMAC, didn't we? It was a pretty easy winner in the end after finding the front and leading all the way over Wake Up Jeff, who you gave a good push for on the preview in the morning. Yeah,
I was very happy with Jeff running into second place. I thought DMAC was, once the barrier draw came out, he looked like he was probably the winner on paper, and he was able to get there and win well. Last half in 55 and change. Speaking about some of the runs in that race, Wake Up Jeff had that beautiful run, was able to come through and for second. Ideal Beach went to the line looking for a run. I thought Better Move Matty was really good. On Stealthy was outstanding. And El Maestro was a much better run. Those top 5 or so, they were fantastic, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. And even Ideal Beach as well. He didn't have a lot of luck when held up at a crucial stage. So certainly it looks a very strong year for the 2-year-old boys. And I think there's going to be a few different winners depending on barrier draws in the upcoming features this year and also next year as a 3-year-old.
Magnificent Storm took out the past President's Cup. Had to work pretty hard in the lead time. Did you suspect that there was going to be a little bit happening in the early stages and he would have to work that hard? And did you have any concerns once he found the top that he could be beaten, or was it just smooth sailing in your opinion?
I really didn't think he'd have to do that much work in the early stages. I thought he'd be able to probably work across pretty easily and they'd probably run a 36-something lead time, but 35.5, he's flying early and he was really forced to work hard. And He's the Sport moved up quite strongly at one point, but in the end, Magnificent Storm just did it all fairly easily and he pulled away for a really impressive win. I thought the run of Swingband was quite good in that race, who was in that early speed battle. He burned across to the lead and was able to hand up to Magnificent Storm, and he secured a good run in the end on the leader's back, but he was able to battle away for third, and he's always been a horse with a lot of ability, and he just has obviously just had a few issues over the time, and he seems to be back and he seems to be somewhere near his best, so it'd be fantastic to see him go around in that WA Pacing Cup coming up later this year and onwards and upwards from there.
Yeah, never-ending return in that race, and I think a lot of people were just happy to see Never-ending come back and run through the line strongly, so he hit the line really well. It looks like that'll just top him up nicely for his next run. We've got horses to follow. We need yours from Friday night.
Yeah, my first horse to follow was out of that first race. I thought Sweet Lucifer was terrific. It did look a race where he might be able to work to the front, but Star Lily, she showed good gate speed and was able to lead, and I thought she was a good run as well. But Sweet Lucifer was forced to sit without cover, which probably previously hasn't been his go. He's probably been more known as a horse that's really fast or a horse that's able to lead and win, but he showed versatility there on Friday. He sat without cover, was a really good effort. It was only beaten 3.2 metres, and they ran pretty decent time, 1:55.9. So certainly he's got good gate speed. I think if he can lead in a race very soon, he's going to be hard to beat no matter what field he comes up against. My next horse to follow is out of the third race, and that was Soho Moonraker. This horse just hasn't had much luck in recent starts. He's been held up in a few of his recent races, and that was the case again on Friday. Just he can't get any luck. He secured a good run and just couldn't get a crack at them late. So I think he's certainly racing well. He's a horse with excellent gate speed, and when he's able to draw a barrier or have a race run to suit, I certainly think he's one that's going to be right in the finish. And out of race 7, I was quite taken by the run of Franco Mecca. He was off the front mark there and he stepped okay. He was shuffled back 3 back on the pegs, and he secured a good run after that, but he looked like he was travelling quite nicely, turning for home, and he was held up at one stage. So given he's likely to keep drawing that front mark, I think he's one in these stand starts that can certainly run a place very soon or even be a bit of a surprise winner. So keen to keep following Sweet Lucifer, Soho Moonraker and Franco Mecca out of Friday. What were your horses to follow, Matt?
I like the way that Something Certain hit the line in the first race. I think that the heart of it, I was very taken by Sweet Lucifer's performance too after doing all that work. I agree with you wholeheartedly there. But I just thought Something Certain, for a horse who only won one race, he's showing a lot of ability, and look, he's had his fair share of issues in terms of gate-wise and wanting to break at certain stages, but he was a good win 2 starts ago in Maiden Company, and then to step up in grade and hit the line the way he did on Friday night, I thought that it's really encouraging. He seems to be pacing a lot better in his last couple of starts, and I think the fact that he's able to drop back so far, when we see him race again, I expect him to be back into the winners list very soon. Something Certain. I like the way Who's the Dad's been going. He's just sort of been flying under the radar, and I thought he was a good effort on Friday night. Don't think he's too far off of being able to run some pretty good races. And State My Case in the last is a horse who's also eligible for a lot easier. She races tomorrow at Gloucester Park from Barrier 8. I don't really like her that much from the draw tomorrow, but I do think going forward, State My Case is ready to win a race. So those are the ones for me to follow out of Friday night. We've got Something Certain, Who's the Dad, and also State My Case. Pinjarra today, 9 races. First race getting underway just after midday on this public holiday, and expecting a good crowd on course today at Pinjarra for the 4-year-old Classic. Today's meeting sponsored by Alcoa. Where do we find your best bets as Tab Touch Fixed Odds is available on all races today, Ollie? What's your best 3 for the day?
My first one was in race 7, and it's in the 4-year-old Classic, which I think is a fantastic race. Looks like it's going to be really competitive. I was happy to go with Wave Rider, who I think is going to get a really good run on the back of Just Call Me Mickey. I thought Just Call Me Mickey was a solid run there first up, but maybe needed the run, and he might need the run potentially here in this race again. I'm assuming he's targeting that big nugget race, which most of these would be in this race, and he should be able to lead, and I think that's going to give a great run to Wave Rider, who was just forced to do a lot of work in that last start, and he ended up fading into 5th, but it was still a fairly solid effort, and he was only second up from a spell there. Comes into this race 3rd up. Jack Callaghan jumps on. I think he can hold the leaders back and potentially take the last shot up the sprint lane. He's going to be really hard to hold out there, so I'm keen to play him 1 by 3. And then the next bet I had was in race 8, and I was really keen on the chances of Jamie Kim to run a place. He's a horse with very good gate speed and should be able to zip off the gate, and then I think potentially take a sit on Dream Control, who was so impressive there last start, running quite good time at Pinjarra. I think Dream Control will be really hard to beat again in this race. Looks a similar type of race, and that'll give a great run to Jamie Kim, who can just follow it all the way and potentially hang on for a placing after not having the best of luck in recent starts. Was badly held up at Gloucester Park when securing a similar run to the one I think he's going to get in this race. So I certainly think he's racing well enough, and with that right run, he's a really good place price. And then for me in the last race, for giving a horse that I thought was a bit disappointing last start in Down by the Avenue, I just think he's going to be a better horse when able to find something to follow in the race, whether that's on the pegs or in the running line somewhere. I think Down by the Avenue can be running into this race late. He certainly had every chance there last start, but I think he's a much better horse than that, and with something to follow, he's going to be really hard to beat. So my 3 for today were race 7, Wave Rider, 1 by 3, race 8, Jamie Kim, a place, and race 9, Down by the Avenue. What were your bets today, Matt?
I'm with you with Wave Rider in race 7. I think the $6, $1.50 is something that you can play to your favour, load up the place so you get something out of the place, and if he does win, it's a really good result. So, yeah, I was keen on Wave Rider to really give a scare to Just Call Me Mickey. Is obviously going to be the one to beat in the event, but, yeah, I'm happy to be with Wave Rider. In race 7, race 8, giving Sweet Duncan another chance. He made that run last week and they went 27 and change in for the bell when as soon as Chris Folk saw Joey on a move, and he just took off with the leader, Lord Publisher, and that made things incredibly difficult for Sweet Duncan. I thought the first up run was really good, and I just give a really good opportunity here for Sweet Duncan. I'm happy to be with him again in this race. Race 8, him to win, and race 9. Sorry, we've skipped over one. We'll go to race 6. I should have started with Stormy Skies. So races 6, 7 and 8. Stormy Skies in race 6 was one that I just really liked the trial a couple of weeks ago, and I did think she'd be a slightly better price, but I do think she's got the draw advantage and she could be driven pretty aggressively in this race, and I thought she'd run a really big race. So race 6, number 5, Stormy Skies to win. Race 7, number 8 each way in Wave Rider, and race number 8 will go with the 11, Sweet Duncan. Gloucester Park tomorrow, we've got racing action there. I'll continue on with mine for tomorrow's meeting. We're going to go sort of mid-card, races 3 and 4 for tomorrow's meeting. Firstly, in race 3, we'll go with Major Mickey Whitby for Dylan Edgerton-Green. Like this horse, and I think he can be driven pretty assertively off the arm here. Rumble Strip and Runkle Crunch drawn to his outside, who are both showing good ability. Captain's Creek drawn his inside, but he's got good gate speed. He seems to be very versatile. He's a horse that I've got a lot of time for, Major Mickey Whitby, so I was happy to be with him in race 3. And in race 4, I was with Burley Shard. I thought Burley Shard could run a pretty decent race here. Can be driven forward, can do a little bit of work, and I think this is the right sort of grade to see Burley Shard get back to his better form than this. So race 3, number 7, Major Mickey Whitby, and race 4, number 7, Burley Shard were my 2 for tomorrow. What are your 2 for tomorrow, Ollie?
I'm going to make us wait until later in the card tomorrow, and I thought this Trotters race looked a really good match race, but in race 7. But I'm happy to be with Older Baron Boyd, who gets the barrier draw advantage in this race. He was too good last start from the stand start for Majestic Gaga, but did have that big handicap advantage. So I think that could mean we get a decent price about Older Baron Boyd, and he should have the gate speed to zip across lead and should be pretty hard to beat from there. Certainly Majestic Gaga is a nice trotter, and second up from a spell will be better for that first up run, but I think Older Baron Boyd is quite a handy trotter, and with that barrier draw advantage, he's going to be certainly hard to beat. And then in race 8, I thought this race just looked a race for Opal Hunter to win again. He was really impressive there last start, but I'm happy to be with Courage of Lombo, the place, who I think could be able to get across to the inside and over the 1700 is going to be really hard to beat for the placings, and was a really solid effort there last start. So coming to this race 4th up, I think Courage of Lombo will be nearly spot on, getting a great run leaders back. I think should be thereabouts the placing. So my 2 for tomorrow were race 7, Old Baron Boyd, and race 8, Courage of Lombo to place.
Fantastic, Ollie. Good luck and good punting over the next 2 days. Hopefully some winners there, and we'll chat again to you next week. Enjoy the public holiday off.
Sounds good. You too, Matt. Thanks.
There we have Ollie County joining us. We're going to take a short break. Dylan Edgerton-Green the other side.
You are listening to Often Pacing for Lane Twitch's Snooze in Cannington and Coburn.
Amazing what a little snooze can do.
Welcome back to Often Pacing. Dylan Edgerton-Green's got some good runners in today and tomorrow, and he joins us now. Good morning, Dill.
Yeah, good morning, Matt. How are we?
Very good. Thank you for your time this morning. And we jump straight in race 3, the debutant Edgy's Girl, who is locally bred, and the family involved here with Tiny Tim and also your father Kevin, as well as Cole Smith. So they've bred this horse, owned this horse. She trolled up pretty well. Do you give her a good chance on debut?
Yeah, she said it went pretty good. Probably exceeded a little bit of expectations first up in the trial with how sort of well she found the line. So, I was happy with that, and she seems to have trained on not too bad. So, yeah, nice little draw first up there, just to hopefully follow out one that looks like it should be trying to run a bit of a race. And, we'll just see how we go. But, pretty happy heading into this.
Did she impress you a bit in the way that she sprinted in trials, or was she always showing a little bit of something behind the scenes?
No, showing absolutely no sprint sort of over a final 200 metres at home, and in her trial, she sort of really wanted to do it. So, hopefully she can continue to do that, and the penny drops a little bit into what the racing game's all about.
Race number 6, you've got Grand Coteau, who was a Metro winner last start when able to lead. She was a nice effort 2 starts ago when you had to change course a few times, and she got through the line well in a quick last quarter. Do you see her having the versatility to be able to win this race from barrier 6?
She's been running some good last quarters, and sort of last start she sort of walked around early last start and dashed home quite good on probably a slower sort of night, and start before that being folded away on the fence at Pinjarra, got home in a good tick. So looks to be plenty of speed on early in this. Probably don't look like we'll be getting involved in anything early, and it looks hopefully like we can get home very good. And being Pinjarra, you usually get an opportunity to make the ground that you can late. So that's sort of how it looks on paper, and hopefully it eventuates that way.
Lightning Banner's been racing really well since he's come back. He's got a horror draw today. Things just look like you just need a little bit of chaos up front to really bring you into it.
Yeah, he's going to have to rely on luck in this. Hopefully a few egos of horses get in the way and everyone sort of has a bit of a crack, and that could sort of leave him very, very, very well at the end. But it sort of looks pretty tricky from the draw, obviously with quality throughout this whole field. So I'm not writing him off because he is racing probably career best, but I don't think there'll be much that he can do unless he relies on a bit of luck, to be fair.
And 3 runners in the last, Stella de Liziosa, Miss Vincenza and Lazarus Star. Lazarus Star was a good run last start. You take the drive on this pacer. Is he the best of the 3 chances for you in the last?
He's probably the hardest to drive, and I probably should have palmed that off to someone else. He's a little bit on the wild side. So, I just probably wouldn't put anyone else through it. So, he raced really good last start. He sort of probably got the luck as well. So, he'll need a little bit of luck to go his way in here. But, not writing off the other 2 either. They're obviously fillies taking on some of the boys. Stella de Liziosa was really unlucky. And if she can sort of get a bit of luck from that draw, I couldn't see why she couldn't be winning. And Miss Vincenza, she's just knocking on the door to get a nice run, so she should be hopefully in the money too. But there's a few probably other chances other than us that probably look harder to beat. But if we get the right run, hopefully one of them's winning.
Race 2 tomorrow at Gloucester Park. You're driving Leonarca, who was very close to breaking through last start. This one for Gary Sayers. She's got the good draw. This 2-year-old maiden. What can you tell us about Leonarca? Does she give you a nice feel?
Yeah, she's sort of learning what it's all about still. Very off and on throughout the run, and Gary's just got a small team of horses which he does a really good job with, and this one's still learning. So I can see her actually winning the race if she puts it all together. So I think she'll go really well. She was really good last start. Just got a little bit lost at vital stages. So good draw. Gary does a good job, and I think she should be right in the top 3 if she's not winning.
Major Mickey Whitby's been racing against some of the better ones. It's a pretty good field considering it's a Tuesday, but he seems to have a few strings to his bow. Do you think Major Mickey Whitby can win tomorrow?
I like the horse. He's been working quite well. Not often that Aidan would probably admit to pulling the wrong rein in a race, but he done it twice when he drove him. And he was just unlucky to not probably finish top 4 or 5 in the Battle of Bunbury. So, there's a few handy ones in this, and, the race can be run in a few different ways, sort of looking at it. So, we'll just have to assess it as it happens. But, I could see him, finishing top 3 for sure. He's got a bit of ability. It's just whether his tractability is right on the day.
Can we see Follow My Stride return to some form in race 5 from the good draw?
It's probably a little bit more of a nicer race for her here. She's sort of probably just gone off a little bit and hasn't been, so we've changed a few things up with her, and probably not having to do too much work early this week would probably benefit for her. And yeah, hopefully she can be in the top 4 here with a good draw and just tucked away there nicely.
And Sister Cherie, who she's a bit of a funny horse. She's got the ability, but she does seem to switch off and on at certain stages. If she was able to switch on, do you think she's one of the major players in race 6?
Yeah, she hasn't had a great deal of luck her first 2 and probably gone not too bad. She's sort of probably involved in a little bit of speed wars early. So looking at this race, I don't think she will be sort of involved in that, and it could probably be run to suit in that way, or just sort of drive her for one run. And she could probably surprise in this. Obviously, the one of Robbie Williams looks to go pretty good. But yeah, we should be finding the line better than she has been, and if that's the case, then she should be in the top 3.
Beautiful, Dill. Thank you very much for your time. Hopefully a few winners there over the next couple of days, and hopefully the good form continues on Friday nights. All the best. Thanks, Matty, and enjoy your week. There we have Dylan Edgerton-Green joining us here on Often Pacing. That closes out the show. We've got 9 races today, 12:15 for the start of race number 1, Gloucester Park tomorrow as well. Good luck and good punting, and we'll be back again next week. But for now, it's a very good morning.